Welcome to Behind the Black Curtain, an inspiring podcast that follows the story of Nikki Rowland's incredible journey. Join Nikki as she inspires other single women and single moms to be courageous and continue to persevere through their own life journey. Together, we will learn from Nikki's success and struggles as we create a tribe of women committed to finding freedom from their past, purpose in their present, and unlocking the potential for the future. Welcome to Behind the Black Curtain.
Hey babes, welcome back to Behind the Black Curtain. I am your host, Nikki Rowland, and today we're talking about relationships. If you're anything like me, you're probably sick and tired of these relationship conversations. When I'm on Instagram especially, and my feed is filled with relationship advice, dating advice, or men on podcasts that are just complaining about women, or women on podcasts complaining about men, I'm just like, I'm tired of hearing this. I actually just continuously scroll past each and every one of them. I feel like when you get caught up into listening to these conversations, it can cause you to go down a nasty, dirty road. I really believe that the narrative is just to get each sex to go against each other. We have women hating men, women, just swearing up and down that all men are trash and they need to do this and they need to do that. And then we have the men doing the same thing, just trashing women, and men just proclaiming how much they are the prize. And it's just like a battle of the sexes about who is the prize and who needs to lead. And it's just like, can everybody please just shut the heck up? But I wanted to touch on us just reimagining relationships and how society is changing right now based off of a conversation or a post that I came across. And I came across this post on TikTok. Now, this post was by a dating coach, and I really like him. I'm not going to throw his name out there, but this guy he gives great advice, and it's not toxic advice. There's a difference between giving relationship advice where you are teaching and filling people with information that helps them to show up in positive, healthy ways, versus you're giving relationship advice where all you're doing is fueling anger and hurt and resentment in people towards each other. And he's nothing like that. But he had a post where he said he sees the future of dating being men having AI girlfriends and women basically living like the Golden Girls. Basically, us women, we're going to end up just living together, getting a place together, and just finishing life together as the men have the AI girlfriends. And I was just like, whoa. I went through the comments just to see what other women were saying, and women were like, yeah, I can see that happening. A lot of women were saying, yeah, I don't mind getting a place with my best friend. And some of them were saying, I just had this conversation with one of my girlfriends and we plan on doing the same thing. And it was like I was the only one that had a different mentality. I said, this actually makes me sad. And he responded and he asked me why. And when I saw that, I'm like, what do you mean why? I'm just like, I don't want to grow old and have to go find a place with me and my girls and us just live out the rest of our lives together. Like, I want an actual partner. I want a male partner. And I just thought it was weird that no one thought that way. Everyone was just like, yeah, I see this happening and I'm cool with it. Now, I'm a relationship person. Let's just say that. I am a long-term relationship type of person. I have never seen myself as getting older and just doing life on my own or doing life with my girlfriends. But I have to be honest with you guys. Recently, my perspective has changed. This journey that I'm on right now towards self-actualization again, I've come to the realization that dating is not an interest to me, at least not right now. And it's a weird place for me to be in. Maybe weird is not the word, or the correct word, but this is a new space for me to be in because I don't recall ever feeling like this ever in my life where I'm just like, yeah, I have no interest at all. there has been a point in my life in the past where I intentionally did not date for like 2 years because I knew there was a lot of healing that I had to do with myself based on a relationship that I had came out of that really, really destroyed me. But I knew that eventually I would be out there again because I want a partner. I wanted someone to do life with, to travel with, to create great memories. So for me to be in this space where I'm like, I have no interest whatsoever, and I can't even tell you whether or not this is something that I'm just going to be going through for the next couple months, or I don't know how long this is going to last. When I say I have no interest, like there's nothing in me that wants to date right now. I'm just completely turned off by the idea. Right now, for me, there's just a strong importance of prioritizing my self-love after giving so much to others in the past, so much to my relationships in the past, and me coming to the realization that I don't even know if I ever given myself half the amount of love and care and attention that I've given partners in the past. And right now, I'm just focused on selfish self-love. Like I want to be selfish with my love, and I just want to focus on me. I just want to prioritize where I want to be in my life. There's so many things that got put on the back burner, or I got thrown off track because of a certain person that I ended up dating. You guys know how it is when we start dating. We could have our goals in front of us. I will speak more for the women because I know that with men, when you guys have your goals set and you're focused on your career, it don't matter who she is. Y'all don't care. You're going to stay focused and you're going to stick to your goals. And she either comes for the ride with however you want to take her down this road, or she can be gone. But with women, a lot of us tend to have our goals set in front of us, and then someone comes in and he just seems like such a great guy, the perfect guy. And we become willing to put our hopes and our dreams and our desires to the side, not necessarily saying that we just completely forget about it, although some of us do, but oftentimes we'll push it to the side. It's no longer priority. It's there, but it's not the priority that it used to be. And when we do that, it just takes us down a different road than what we were originally on. And I don't want to do that anymore. This past year has opened my eyes to so much. And it's not even that this past year was new when it comes to hardship or going through trials and tribulations. I've experienced these things throughout my life since childhood. But this past year, I felt like I was held down, or I was knocked down, and I stayed down longer than I've ever stayed down in any situation before. And there is a fear and a fire inside of me that has been birthed because of this. There's a fear of me ending up in a situation like this again. And so I'm doing everything on my behalf to fully come out of this and to never end up here again. And then there's also a fire in me that just wants to love on me. There's a fire in me that just wants to focus on what Nikki wants for herself. Focus on experiencing the life and the activities and the joys that I've always wanted for myself, but I've kind of put these things on the side or not as a priority anymore whenever I ended up in a relationship. And I don't want to do that anymore. There's so many new things that I want to try in life. And I remember always wanting to do these things with a partner. And that's why a lot of my dreams and desires I would put to the side, because in my mind, when me and this person end up, married and having a home together and all these things, we can do this together. So in my mind, I didn't fully toss my dreams away. I just kind of put it to the side for now. I put it on the back burner. And sitting here on this podcast talking to you guys, as you know, I'm single as a dollar bill. So none of what I thought was going to happen with any of these partners that I thought was going to be a long-term thing, none of it had come true. And I am not willing to subject myself to that anymore. I am not willing to compromise anymore. I am taking a page out of the book of man. And the book of man says this is your goal, this is your desire, this is what you see for your life, you need to stay the course. It does not matter who comes in or who's trying to come in and grab your attention. Stay the course. And for me, that's what I want to do. I want to do things where I fully enjoy me. I fall in love with me and I transform into the woman that I know I was meant to be. Like, if y'all think I'm dope now, wait till you see me later. And that's my focus. I don't want to date. So I have no interest in men. And it's not only because of this transition that I'm going through that has my mind this way, but it's just watching the direction that society is going with dating. It's such a turnoff to me. I am more turned off than anything when it comes to the way men are behaving, the way men no longer want to be leaders. I feel like there's a lot of crying about not wanting to lead, and that's just weird to me. Now, don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I am not saying that men showing their emotions or their feelings or speaking about how they feel is a bad thing. I'm not saying that at all. But when we have men who are basically trying to battle women about who is the prize, it's weird to me. When we have men that don't even want to lead, they want the woman to lead. They want the woman to lead in the dating process, in the getting to know you process. To me, that's weird. I'm a leader on my own. One thing that people have always said about me, anyone that knows me personally, is like, just my presence alone when I walk into a room commands attention. I don't want to be the boss chick in a relationship. I don't want to be the one that's making all the plans and leading the entire relationship. I don't want that. And I understand that men take on a lot, just like us women do. And I understand that, there are moments where we need to compromise in a relationship. Absolutely. And as I say this, I just think about how we're constantly hearing men complain about women wanting to be boss chicks and women wanting to lead. But I feel like as much as we hear that complaint, we're also hearing men basically say they don't want to lead. They want to be called the prize. They want women to lead. They want women to pursue them. And I can't get with that, y'all. Like, this may end up causing me to be alone to the day I die. I don't know. With the way society is going, this may cause me to be alone, but I can't get with that program. So just before I came to the complete realization that I don't even have an interest in dating, I was speaking to my coworkers, and they were talking about hooking me up with the guys that they know. Everyone's saying like, okay, I got a friend and he's a great guy. He's this, he's that, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Cause I'm thinking like, yeah, it'd be nice for me to go date and whatnot. And one of my coworkers in particular, he was like, I have someone perfect for you. And he shows me the guy's picture. He looks like a decent guy, in the picture, whatnot. And he was like, let me take a picture of you so he can see and, I can hook this up. I was like, let me give you a picture. So he gives him a picture of me, and the guy responds like, yeah, she looks good, this, that, whatever. And then I didn't hear anything else. I think about 2 days went by before I heard anything else. I was like, I'm not going to ask any more questions because you know what? I've already put it out there that there's an interest, So now, sweetie, you need to take over. I didn't hear anything until about 2 days later, and my coworker says, oh yeah, do you want so-and-so's number? I'm like, bruh, it's been how many days? And he's just now saying this. And he was like, no, it's just like, I didn't see him until last night, and he didn't really think it was real. He thought I was messing with him. And I told him like, no, we actually worked together. I showed you his picture and so on and so forth. He was like, so yeah, he's interested. He's excited. Do you want me to give you his number and you can text him? Y'all. I'm like, wait. You give me his number so I can text him? Like, first of all, it's already been put out there that she's interested. And I always hear that men are complaining, saying that they don't know if the woman's interested or whatever. And so they're afraid of being, shot down and whatnot. But when the woman opens the door and says, I'm interested, this is your time now to lead. I honestly believe that whenever we start relationships where a woman is leading that relationship, or she has to be the one to do everything to get this man to feel comfortable and start talking, it's going to be a wreck. I personally believe this. I believe that if this man does not have the kahunas to now speak up and start a conversation or whatever, in my mind, I'm going to have to lead us going forward. And I don't want to do that. I've been in a relationship like that where literally everything was me speaking up. I don't want to do that. I want to rest in my femininity, and I want to allow my man to lead us. And so when he said that, I'm like, nah. I said, I understand that culture is changing and now women are like taking on a man's role, but I would never be comfortable in that role. I want to be pursued by a man. I will let a man know whether or not I'm interested. And once I let you know that I'm interested, that means I'm giving you the green light to now pursue me. But that is where I was just like, wait a minute, I don't even want to date. I'm like, why am I even having this conversation with them? I don't even want to date. I don't even have an interest in this. The thought of even starting up a conversation or going into that getting to know you phase, I have no interest whatsoever. I don't want to be bothered. I really just want to focus on me, myself, and I have not done that before. Or I should say, I have not done that intentionally before. Again, I did have a time in the past where I decided not to date for a couple years, but that was so I can heal myself and I can fully release that person, you know? But to say that I ever took the time to just like do me, no. And that's what I want to do. I have this new job opportunity and it seems very promising. And all I can think about is the things that I'm going to start doing by myself, the classes I'm about to sign myself up for, the activities I'm going to go sign myself up for, the way I'm going to love on my body and just change up my style. That's all that's on my mind. And it's not to impress anyone, and it's not for anyone but me. I need that same loving that I've poured out and given to others that sometimes was not even reciprocated. That's what I need for me. I always felt like, how come I don't get that back from people? How come I'm always the one giving out the most? And now I'm like, girl, well, why have you not given it to yourself? I mean, I gave myself a little bit of it, but the attention and to the extent that I've given it away, that's what I want to do for me. And during this process, if it so happens that somebody comes into my life and it so happens that, you know, we become friends and maybe from there it escalates to some form of relationship, then that's just the way it happens. But right now, when it comes to being hooked up with anyone or just anyone intentionally like popping up and trying to see if we can go on a date, no. I have no interest at all. I just feel like it's so important that we prioritize ourselves. Women, I'm speaking to y'all right now. I believe it's so important for us to prioritize ourselves. I believe that it's so important that we spend some time in our life where we are the priority. We love on ourselves just as much as we've loved on anyone else. And not even just our partners, but our family members, our children. We give out so much to others and we forget about ourselves, or we just give ourselves just an ounce of what we're giving everyone else. And it's time that we prioritize ourselves too. It's so important for us to stay focused and not allow anyone to compromise the journey, however long that journey is. And that's the thing, I'm not even putting myself on a time limit. This is going to go on for as long as I feel like this is what I need to be doing. And when I think about this, I'm also like, whoa, you know, at my age, if you're a single woman, most women are looking for a partner because they are afraid that they are going to end up getting old and dying alone. And I'm not afraid. I don't like, that's not even a thought for me. And me saying that is insane right now, because I'm like, I remember being that girl that was like, okay, God, like, if you're gonna let me die alone, just say that. And now I'm just like, it's not a thought, it's not a worry. The only thing on my mind right now is loving myself selfishly. So what about you guys? What are your thoughts on this whole this whole vision of the future looking like men having AI girlfriends and we as women just living out the rest of our lives like the Golden Girls? Like, are you ladies, are you cool with that? Is that something that you would like to happen, or is that something you could see possibly coming down the pipeline for us? And if so, what are your thoughts on this? And same thing for the men. Do y'all want AI girlfriends? Like, I'm looking kind of side-eyeing you right now. But are you guys okay with that? Do you see that happening in the future and women just living together? I do believe that technology has impacted the expectations that we have of each other when it comes to relationships, the whole changing gender roles and so on and so forth. And it's so important that you stick to your standards. It doesn't matter who is trying to teach you what. It doesn't matter how many followers this person has. It does not matter how this person speaks with such confidence, because I see a lot of that as well, where there's a bunch of nonsense being spread out there, but because the person that's spreading it is speaking so boldly and so confidently that people easily gravitate to it. And I just want to remind you guys to hold on to your standards, your morals, and your values. I definitely encourage you guys to just reflect on your own relationship desires and your priorities, and don't base it off of hearsay. Don't base it off of what men are saying about women or what women are saying about men, but your own relationship desires and priorities. And whatever those desires and priorities are, why not sit down with yourself and figure out where these are coming from? Like, why do I have this particular desire in a relationship? Or why are these priorities that I feel why do I feel like these priorities need to show up in a relationship? Like, where is this thought process coming from? It's so important for us to embrace our personal choices and decisions regarding relationships. We have, I believe, 4 months left for the rest of 2023. And I think there's no better time than now to start doing more self-reflection, focusing on self-love, setting boundaries, and just staying true to ourselves. And if you're someone that feels like, I don't want a relationship right now, I have no interest in that, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. If you are somebody where you just want to focus on yourself, you just want to focus on your growth, your healing, whatever it is that you're wanting to focus on, stick to that. Don't allow anyone to make you feel like you're being too selfish or you're whatever. I've had people say things to me like, oh, I can tell that you are running from relationships, or I can tell that you are closed off. And I'm just like, why are y'all so concerned with the fact that I don't want a relationship? Like, why does that bother you? So yeah, I'm gonna focus on selfish self-love. And I'm not allowing anybody to take me off my path. I don't want to end up living with my girlfriends. Although I have the greatest girlfriends out there, I don't want to live with y'all. Like, at the end of the day, I'd rather have a male partner. But I know that right now, I have no interest in it. And I know I will come to the point again in life where I feel like, yeah, this is what I want. And I believe that when I get back to that point where I want a partner, I want a relationship, I truly, honestly believe that is when the one that is for me is going to show up. This space that I'm in right now is where I belong. It's been long overdue for me to do Nikki, be Nikki, experience life as Nikki and not as somebody's partner, somebody's other half, but authentically me, fully in love with me, doing things the way I want to do it. And then when I am filled with my self-love, the one that is right for me, the one that can join in and appreciate me for all that I am and all that I bring to the table, I believe that's when he's going to show up. And I want that for you ladies too. And so if this is a journey that you know you need to go on, sis, go on a journey. And if you need somebody to talk to, you know you got me. So that's it for today's episode. Again, I really hope we don't end up in a space where men are dating AI girlfriends and us women are living like the Golden Girls. Although them girls was funny, okay? But I don't want that. Just focus on the self-love, you guys. Embrace self-love and prioritize your personal happiness in this season. That is it. That is all. If you have not ordered your copy of Diamond Mindset, my journal that I created for you guys, please go ahead and do so. I am leaving the link in the show notes. And outside of that, stay blessed, y'all. And you know I can't leave you without giving you a scripture. So here goes. So today's scripture is from Proverbs 19:21. And it says, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails." The scripture reminds us that while we may have our own desires and plans for our relationships or lives, ultimately, God's purpose and plan will prevail. It encourages us to trust in God's guidance and surrender to His will, even when it may differ from our own expectations. In the context of this episode, it suggests that embracing personal choices and decisions regarding relationships while prioritizing self-love aligns with trusting God's purpose for our lives. That is it. That is all. Stay blessed, y'all.